urdhamulam arvakshakam vriksham yo veda sampratihi nasujatu jana shraddayad mrityurma maranaditi. So this Taittiriya Aranyaka says, one who knows this tree, he is not bewildered by death, because by death he understands he is not died, he will not be killed. So Krishna, whatever he speaks, he doesn't speak from his own opinion, even though he can speak, but still he always quotes from the Vedas. So this shloka, urdhamula madashakam, urdhamolo avakshaka, yesha ashvatta sanatanaha. This is a Kathopanishad mantra. So Krishna just takes few very important mantras from all the Upanishad and he gives as a Gita Upanishad. That's why it's called Sarva Upanishado Gavaha Dokta Gopalanantanaha. This is the essence of all the Upanishad. So Krishna just takes different mantras from all the Upanishad important conclusions and he gives as a very good pearl for us. So this is how the tree is explained. One who knows this tree, he is the knower of the Vedas. One who knows this tree means what? He knows the tree. Why? To cut the tree. He knows how the tree is working, what is the mechanism and how to cut this tree. If he knows, then he is the knower of the Veda. Then Krishna goes and speaks. Adaschordam prasadastasya jaga guna pravriddha vishaya pravala atascha moolan anusandadani karma anubandhini manushya loke. Adaschordam prasadastasya jaga guna pravriddha vishaya pravala. So for this tree you need some water. So what is the water? 3 gunas. 3 gunas, it nourishes the tree with water. And this tree has branches upward and downward. There are some branches which is going downward. And from these branches, there are some branches which are going upward also. Because trees have no any rules. So there are some branches goes like this and there are some branches goes down also. So the branches which are going down means by means of our sinful activity, there are some jivatmas who glide down from the position of demigod, from the position of humans. They come down and they take birth in various lower species. This is how the branches goes down. And there are some branches which are going up. How? By means of your pious activity, jivatma, they get higher status. They take birth in higher status. That's like a demigod or human beings. So in this way, the branches which are going up and down. And this tree has buds. Like this body is considered as branches, and there are some buds, there are some edges. This branch has the tip. The tips are considered as the senses, and from this tip, the buds grows. Buds means the fresh leaves, they grow. So these buds are considered as the sense objects. So from the sense objects, new leaves are produced. And this tree has 2 kinds of roots. One is primary root, which are coming from up, and there is secondary root. So this secondary root, which are arising from the branches of the tree. Like in banyan tree, if you see banyan tree, there are branches, and from the branches, there are some things which are going down. It's like a root again. So this root, it comes down and it enters the earth. It makes another root. So if you see a banyan tree, it is full of roots everywhere. There are leaves, there are branches, there are twigs, there are buds, there are flowers, there are fruits, and there are so many different kinds of fruits. So once if you are entered, once if you enter inside that banyan tree, it is very difficult for you to come out. Similarly, this samsara. So there are some roots which are coming down. This is like what we have explained from Brahmadeva. This world starts. This is primary root. And there is secondary root, which are coming from the branches. Branches means from this body. From this body, what happens? We develop various kinds of vasanas. So by means of these various kinds of impressions, again, we get different roots and we get rooted to this samsara. And again we produce various kinds of body. So that's why it said karmanubandhini manushya loke. Karmanubandhini manushya loke. So once if you do some karma, then what happens? It stays as a vasana. Again, you tend to do that same karma again. Again, it produces vasana. Again, it produces the body. So in this way, the karma, the vasanas, the body, it is going again and again. So in this way, the root, it is just going here and there. It is impossible for a person to get out of this samsara, get out of this banyan tree. So this is how the banyan tree is explained. So very interesting analogy what Krishna gives here. Then he says, Narupamasyeha tatopalabhyate nanto nachadir nacha sampratishtha ashvattamenam suvirudamulam ashanka satrena dridena chitva tatam padam tat parimargitavyam yasmin gata nadivartanti bhuyaha tameva chadyam purusham pravatye yata pravritti prachada purani. He says, Narupamasyeha tatopalabhyate. Krishna has explained about the tree and the complication of the tree, the each and every details of the tree. Then Krishna confuses. He says, Narupamasyeha tatopalabhyate. Nobody can understand how this tree is, and nobody can see the tree. Nobody can find its origin, its shelter, its destruction. Narupam asyeha tata upalabhyate nacha shantir nanto nacha adhir nacha sampratishtaha. Where this tree is originated, where it's sheltered, and how it is going to get destroyed, and how to perceive this tree, nobody can understand. Ashvattamenam suvirodamulam. But this tree has to be cut down by ashanga shastrena dridena chitva, by drida chitta, by means of determined intelligence. Ashanga, by means of detachment, you can cut down the tree. What Krishna is trying to say here. He says, this tree cannot be perceived, or this tree, for some people, it looks like it exists, but some people it doesn't exist. So nobody can understand whether this exists or not. It's like a mirage water. Mirage water, it exists, but it doesn't exist also. It exists for those who are in illusion. It doesn't exist one who has knowledge. But even if you have knowledge, still you can find out, still you can see the mirage water. So we can say mirage water exists and also it doesn't exist. So that's how it is said, it is not perceived. This world, it is very difficult for us to understand whether this exists or not. It's like a dream. In dream you see everything, but when you wake up, it goes away everything. So you're not sure whether this exists or not. But you should come out of this dream. You should come out of this sleep. That's what Krishna says here. So nobody can understand its origin. What does it mean? Nobody can understand its origin. Means nobody can understand why it has appeared in the first place. Nobody can understand. Nobody can ascertain. Nobody can explain to you why this world has been created. Nobody can understand what is the reason to appear this. What is the reason of this appearance of this material world? Nobody can understand. That is why the origin cannot be understood. And where it is sheltered, how this is standing, nobody can understand how this world is working. Everything works so nicely. When you see, we cannot understand there is a lot behind this. Even though we may speak like a astika, we may speak like a person who believes in God, but still we cannot realize or we cannot understand the Lord is behind everything. If we understand Lord is behind everything, then we will be completely doing devotional service. That's what Krishna says. Aham sarvasya prabhava matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam bhutava samanvidah. If you understand that He is the origin, He is inside and outside, He is watching us every time, then we will be doing only devotion service. So it is very difficult for us to understand that Lord is behind everything and He is the sustainer, controller and owner of everything. So that's why it is said its shelter is difficult to understand. And also its destruction. So this network of desires, as I said, this vasanas, this karma, so all these things are very combined in a very very complicated network. So for a soul, it is very difficult to get out of this. That's why this destruction is also very difficult. What I know in this material world, what we all know in this material world, I know my name is Vamshidari and my father name is Hobila Narasimhadas, my mother name is Shantida Devidasi, and my wife name is this, and my child name is this. I belong to this place and I'm doing this work, and I have to eat every day, sleep, and I have to speak. That's it. We don't know anything behind this. We are trying to know something, but in reality, we know only this much thing. So that's why Krishna says, even though people, they try to find out, it is very difficult for them to think anything beyond this body, because it is suviruda moolam. Suviruda moolam means it is well established, it is well deep rooted inside me and mine. This body is me. everything is centered around me. And whatever things are helping to enjoy this material world, it is mine. This mine is getting expanded to the whole world. So this Suviroda Moolam. So how to cut this tree? We should go to the root of the tree to cut this tree. Atha padam tad parimargitavyam. Parimargitavyam means you should go to the root. Here root means you should go to the top. It is Brahmaloka. Like that. You should go, you should be in Sattvaguna. From Sattvaguna you can get out of this tree. Because Brahmaloka, it is mostly predominated by Sattvaguna. From Sattvaguna you can get out. So here he says, when you understand the root of the tree, from the root of the tree you can jump. How you jump? Tatapadam tat padimargitavyam yasmin gata nanivartanti bhuyaha. So from that place you should go to that padam. You should go to the another base or the highest platform. That is called padam. Here it is said padam. Tat vishno or yat paramam padam tada pashyanti surayaha. So that padam, that abode, which is origin of this and which is